what goes through a cheater's mind during the affair. Please read. Cheaters are idiots. There are something not right in their brains. What hurts the betrayed spouse the most is the lying and gaslighting. If a cheater just says, "Yes, I'm sorry I cheated on you. You were a great person. I messed up," the betrayed spouse can at least have some closure. But with cheaters it's, "I haven't loved you for 20 years," when in reality you have 100 kids together that they wanted. Tons of vacation. They smiling in every picture. They were always happy. People comment on how much they love you, etc. I was never happy. I never knew what love was until I met the affair partner. She is my soulmate. I met my affair partner 2 hours ago and feel a stronger connection with them than what I felt with you for the last 100 years of our marriage. You didn't do this for me. Blah blah blah. This is what really messes with the betrayed spouse, because they start believing the lies and try to make sense of it for years to come. Here is the joke. There are no logic. Making sense of a cheater's decision is a waste of time. They will lie through their teeth to avoid taking blame. Suddenly, even the was you made their coffee was horrible, and they had to suffer 4 years drinking your shit coffee. Their affair partner is so broke. Instead of coffee, they piss in a cup and give it to them every morning. But you know what? That piss in a cup is still better than your shit coffee. Once the cheater starts to live a real life with the affair partner, they begin to realize that, yes, the app is human. They have flaws to etc. You see, during the affair, they are not having a real relationship, it's a fantasy. There aren't really any fighting or anything because the limited time they secretly have together, they don't have time to waste. Pretty soon, the piss in the cup isn't so amazing. That's when the affair fog begins to lift. Note, this is very important to understand. A cheater and their affair partner were not having a real relationship during the affair. Example. The cheater and their idiot app decided to randomly dance in the rain because it's so romantic. 2 weeks later it's raining. They ask you to come dance in the rain. You are like, no, you just had coronavirus, pneumonia, a cold for the last 100 years. Surgery scheduled on your entire body. Cannot get sick because you need to work to pay all the bills. Because you said no, the cheater claims you are not romantic like their app. You see, the cheater is testing you during the affair. If the affair partner opens the car door for them, they put you in a situation to see if you will open the car door. This is how they rationalize that the app has more in common with them. This is very important to realize, that when you can never do anything right, what is happening is, they are comparing courting of a 2-week relationship of some guy who just wants to get in their pants. So they are turning on the love bomb to a 20-year marriage with real responsibilities. Also note, during the affair, the cheater is telling their app exactly what they need and what you are doing wrong. It's like giving someone the answers to the test. Example, he never texted me good morning. Well, the affair partner will now text the cheater good morning, and the cheater will think, oh my god, you understand me. I told you that, and you immediately do it. I couldn't get my spouse for the last 20 years to text me good morning. The app have such an easy time. They need to just do exactly what the cheater is telling you are not doing. This is why cheaters get deep into affair fog so quickly. That's why they use works like my app is my soulmate. True love. I cannot live another day without them etc. You see, the app is proving a very small subset of things the cheater feels they are missing in the relationship, like 2% compliments, dumb stuff, etc. While you are providing the other 98% paying bills, taking care of kids, laundry, cooking, cleaning, supporting the entire family, power washing the driveway, changing the water pump in the car, re-roofing the entire house. I'm driving the point home that you have a real relationship with responsibility with your spouse, while they have a fantasy relationship with the app that has no responsibilities and as such seem boring compared to your relationship. The cheater doesn't realize they are only getting 2% of their needs met by the app. They think they are getting a 1000% of their needs met. This is why a stay-at-home mom would leave a millionaire to be with a convicted felon with 8 kids and an infinite more amount of kids he doesn't know about. Now, when they start a real relationship and bills cannot be paid, he is not taking care of her kids. It's absolute 0 degrees Kelvin in the house during winter. That's when the cheater now realize what they had Suddenly they realize they cannot live on compliments, sex, etc. Advice to everyone who has been cheated on. Please move on. It sucks. Take it as a learning experience and live your best life. The cheater's rationalization follows a simple path. Cheating is bad. Therefore, cheaters are bad people. But I'm not a bad person. Therefore, I'm not a cheater. Therefore, whatever I did wasn't really cheating. Since I wasn't the one who broke the rules, it must have been you. Therefore, you caused my affair when you insert some failure on your part to ensure that I was never unhappy. And hiding the affair from you was my God-given right. So you had no business asking in the first place, and you deserve being fooled because it's your fault I had to hide the affair. And besides, lying is bad, and I'm not a bad person. So it wasn't really lying when I denied the affair. I could go on, but I think we get the drift. Jesus, this is so spot on. That's why all the normal ups and downs you had in the relationship and everyone's relationship becomes a mountain. Remember that one time you picked me up 1 second late from the airport? It's because you didn't love me blah blah blah. After watching a TV show, and the person arrived 15 minutes early to the airport to pick up their spouse. Honestly, I think you got the nail on the head just by saying that cheaters can't find happiness. Cheating always boils down to a perfect storm of unable to feel happiness or fulfillment in general, escapism, coping tendencies, poor impulse control, inability to handle shame, hence denial, lies, not thinking about this, impulsive lying. This is what creates cheating. It always does. Either that, or I'm really unlucky and have been cheated on by 4 people where the root cause has been oddly specific, laughing my butt off. Point is, unless they can admit something inside them is very seriously broken, and that they need therapy to address the constant thrill seeking and inability to find enjoyment in themselves and day-to-day lives like their long-term relationships, they will never stop cheating. They will never stop being miserable and resentful. A lot of cheaters aren't idiots though. They are very intelligent, very manipulative people. That a felon would pull a con on a millionaire's wife trying to get some of that money isn't all that surprising. That a bored housewife would fall for a felon isn't surprising either. She's missing that excitement, the kick in the pants feeling she used to get from being around you. Now you're boring, and he's dangerous and new. Logically, she's a complete and utter fool. But love doesn't have time for logic or rational thought. She's chasing a high. Now she's in a crack house. Hopefully she isn't taking a lot of money from the millionaire for being a rental. Never expect closure from a cheater. First off, they need to keep that door open, because they are usually narcissists. Secondly, they have low moral fiber, and lack the fortitude and forthrightness to keep their pants on around strangers, much less the ability to try to right a betrayal. I've only had it happen to me once, but I've told all my partners, duck around and we're done. If you want to sleep with someone else, dump me and go live your best life. It's very true, they never give closure. Not the ones who want options and to keep playing anyways. My ex never said goodbye, never told me why he did it, no last conversation. Apparently not worth enough to him to try and ended amicably. Instead, he left me hanging and texts now and then to take cheap shots at me when he feels bad about himself, when he feeling guilty or his new girl isn't the same. I'm actually really glad my incident occurred in the early 2000s. Easy enough to just get a new number. Social media was in its infancy, and to be honest, I still don't have it. If I want you to know me, you'll have my contact information. Blocking contacts and changing a number these days would just be a nightmare. All the passwords and too familiar, and on and on. That's a hard thing to do these days. And if they are really dedicated, they will find a way to mess with your head. I would say, if you ended it on your terms, you're a step ahead. Get in the last word and block them. Leave them trying to say one last thing to you, while you flip them the bird, and go your own way. Let your friends know what happened, and that you don't want any info passed to or from said scumbag. This is one of the best posts I've ever read. We have to remind ourselves that they didn't leave for someone better. They left because they felt so low beside us, so they took someone lowest at them to feed their ego. And like you said, it's easy for them to fantasize on someone new. Well, it's new honeymoon phase and they talk to the app about their relationship problems instead of talking to us. And app knows what to say to make them want to leave us. Both are cowards, immature and weak. For example, I'm super mature. I manage my money. I'm honest, loyal, mentally stable, a great communicator. I have plans for the future. I'm in university, etc. My ex left for a girl who's the same age as me, 23. She doesn't even have a high school diploma, not judging on that. School isn't for everyone, but she does absolutely nothing of her life. She has 3 kids and cheated on the father of her kids with my ex. She takes drugs and encourages my ex to do so. Is 14 years old in mental age. A big manipulator and really not a good person. My ex's friend told her super immature. Isn't stable at all emotionally. Just the biggest loser you've ever seen. And my ex left for that. I'll never get it. I'm sure my ex will wake up one day. It can be in 2 months, 6 months, 5 years. But I'm sure she will. But I'll be long gone. I think cheaters don't take things as seriously, therefore are immature, selfish and impulsive. They are immoral, but most of the time have no idea of that. They are extremely vapid and entitled people, sort of like children in adult bodies. They are living in the moment, and those moments are about feeling good. They don't think about consequences or the impact of their behavior, and usually have an arrogance about them that they can do anything to anyone. And that person will still give them what they want. This is why the best thing you can do to a cheater is leave them. It might help them see their behavior and change it. Wow. This is absolutely true despite some people not agreeing with it. Highly logical and with great perspective. The only reason someone would disagree is because they choose to believe that something true and good can come out of lies. Usually never does. I want to say there is an exception. But that is an odd thing to see. From what I have seen from friends and others is that most of them take on the facade that all is working well and they love each other more than before. But it's actually falling apart and they are too old or too deep into it with kids that they have to stay because the loss is greater. I know a couple going through this right now and I'm not there to judge, but it really sucks for them because they don't want to be together, but they feel as if they won't find anyone who wants them, so it's better to be stuck than alone. How they are not miserable. I guess some people can tolerate it before they end up regretting it. It will be 4 years since day coming up the first week of June. One of my outlets has been documenting my recovery anonymously. I swear every post I end with the affair wasn't your fault. There is nothing you could have done or didn't do that would have changed this outcome because it's them, not you. I get so angry when I see articles about affair proofing your marriage or how you, the BS, need to do a completely change to make sure this doesn't happen again. What? No. I've definitely changed, but not by my choice. And because of that, I'm making sure these changes to me are going to work for me, not him. I remember my husband saying she loved me more than you ever did during an argument we were having, and I laughed maniacally at that point, saying a woman you had in your life less than 9 months loved you more than I ever did in our 7 years of marriage. Okay, man, that made my neck snap. That's when it set in for me that this had nothing to do with me and everything to do with his ego, amongst other things, needing to be stroked. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.